Dun 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 dun.
Your future hasn't been written yet. Shot in the back by Buford Cannon over a matter of $80. What kind of a future do you call that?
That's right, Cannon. Would you like, would you care to, I'd love to. The Doc can dance? Great Scott! I know this is heavy. Marty, we all have to make decisions that affect the course of our lives. What choice does Marty make? I'll talk about that later. Welcome. I am Emir, and let's travel back through time. Right now, let me talk about one more important scene in part 3. The Dela scene. I've explained it before. You may want to watch that video and then check out the entire miniseries. Doc and Clara look up at the night sky using Clara's telescope and share with each other their love for the works of the French author Jules Verne. This scene ends with their first kiss. I said earlier that Doc fell in love with Clara at first sight. But the same is not true for her. Clara did not fall for Doc at first sight. It is only at this point of the movie, at least for me, when Clara falls in love with Doc. Because this is when they kiss. You won't kiss someone you're not in love with. Nor would you kiss someone you love unless you're sure that person loves you too, right? Doc does not start the gesture. Again, they meet halfway. There's a fine line between romance and regret, joy and jail time. I love this Dela scene. True, there's no dancing under the moonlight here. But so what? There are many ways to show people falling in love. A quiet moment like this works with only the subdued hum of the sweet tune from the intro playing. Doc tells Marty that he has indeed fallen in love with Clara and that he is staying in 1885. Marty is worried because Buford could still kill Doc. He reminds his friend, Doc, you're a scientist. So you tell me, what's the right thing to do up here? Doc changes his mind, but tells Marty that he must at least say goodbye to Clara. Marty again tries to inject some sense into his friend. Come on, Doc. Think about it. I've got to go back to the future? I mean, she's not gonna understand that, Doc. Marty is not successful this time. And he's right. Clara does not understand. She thinks that Doc lies to her about being a time traveler because he can tell her the quote-unquote truth that he doesn't love her. Heartbroken, Doc goes to the palace saloon. He orders a shot of whiskey, but he doesn't drink it. He just likes to hold it. Marty catches up with Doc, reminding him that they must go. Where? Back to the future. Alright, let's get going. I love how Marty is the voice of reason in this entire time. Doc, after all, has no experience with love and heartbreak. Marty's the one with a girlfriend. Or two. As if Marty didn't have his own problem. Of course, Marty is not perfect. Remember that yellow thing? And look what just breezed in the door. Buford arrives for the duel. Marty can't flee, however, because Doc passes out after drinking that single shot of whiskey. There's a fellow who can't hold his liquor. I don't drink for a lot of reasons. But if anyone asks why, I'll show them this clip. Buford counts to 10 for Marty, or rather, Clint Eastwood, to come out. Marty looks at the tombstone picture and backs out. Everyone calls him out for being a coward. Everybody everywhere will say Clint Eastwood is the biggest yellow belly in the West. Now that just sounds wrong. But Marty allows good judgment to prevail this time. I don't care what Tannen says, and I don't care what anybody else says either. Doc wakes up, he and Marty flee, but Buford's goons get Doc. If he can't have Eastwood, then he'll take it out on the blacksmith. Why? He's an asshole! Will Doc die? Will Marty save Doc? Will Marty die? Is this the end? Will Doc and Clara make amends? I won't spoil the climax for you. What are your thoughts on this climax? Comment below. Part 3 ends with a time train flying into the screen before the words "The End" flash, bookending the trilogy and telling us, no Part 4. Let me address a point Oliver Harper raised in his review of Part 3, and I quote, "The idea of Doc Brown creating a time-traveling train does seem very far-fetched. There would be lots of materials unavailable to him in 1885. So it kinda contradicts earlier scenes when they were struggling to repair the DeLorean. True, Doc wrote in his letter to Marty, I set myself up as a blacksmith, as a front, while I attempted to repair the damage to the time circuits. Unfortunately, this proved impossible because suitable replacement parts will not be invented until 1947. But here's my take. Doc said later in the movie, during the ending, you can't pin a good scientist down. That's true. Adversity breeds ingenuity. Ingenuity leads to many ways of doing things. One best way. I mean, earlier in the movie, Doc literally invents a refrigerator in 1885. People are giving Doc little credit than he deserves. Besides, it took Doc quite a long time before coming up with a working time train. In the meantime, he created and raised a family. Whether or not he raised them well is a different story. I think at least 10 years has passed from 1885 before completing his time train. As for the flying part, Doc has Marty's hoverboard. Nothing is stopping him from reverse engineering that thing and creating a flying train out of it. What do I think of the movie? What do I think of Back to the Future Part 3? I loved it then, and I love it now. I don't remember appreciating Marty's redemption arc, you know, the whole chicken thing, 10 years ago. But I do appreciate it now. I've come close to doing a lot of stupid things because of being called a name, or because of reverse psychology, or because of overthinking. So I can relate to Marty here. Buford is a dangerous villain after all. I cannot overemphasize this enough. He is a very dangerous villain. He's armed. So, Marty must think carefully. But even in non-life or death situations, we must, in our everyday lives, remain calm and sensible. Take the high ground. Don't be careless. Remember the poster earlier? Neither be the jerk nor the pushover. Doc and Clara's love story is still how I want my own love story to unfold. But, I won't mind if things go differently. I don't mind if I don't get one at all. That's the beauty of movies, of fiction. Escapism. I'll surely watch this movie again, even if I don't watch the entire trilogy. It's that good, enjoyable, and worthwhile. Wish I could say the same for the rest of the movies. We'll get to that when we get to that. What are your thoughts on Back to the Future Part 3? What are your thoughts on, my thoughts on the movie? Feel free to comment below. Please like, share, subscribe, ring the bell beside the subscribe button to be instantly notified when my reviews of parts 2 and 1 and other episodes of In Hindsight / Balik Tanaw become live. You won't miss anything once you ring the bell. Please excuse me, I'm going 30 years into the future, into the year 2015. Wait. Never mind. See you next time. Besides, Marty crashes into Indians upon his arrival in 1885. Who says upon his arrival? He meets, does this guy look like a teen to you? To attend the Hill Valley Festival. Excuse me. He fails because Marty deflects the